All right, my name is Nicole Martz. I am the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Mississippi Aquarium. Someone asked me earlier how long I've been with the aquarium. Great question. In my mind, I've been there since before they opened, but actually they hadn't hired me till October 2023. Are they regretting their decision? Maybe, but here I am, here to help make waves in conservation, education, and community. Those are our three pillars, and you'll hear me say that a lot. So, without further ado, I do want to ask one more question. Do you guys have the hook that hooks somebody off the stage if they talk too long? No? Okay, you're in luck. Just kidding.
Just turn the microphone off.
Okay, perfect. Bueller. Some quick facts about Mississippi Aquarium. We opened on August 29th, 2020. We concentrate on our three pillars. They help propel us forward in every single thing we do. You see them in those giant sails that are in front of campus, that giant structure in our logo. Those are what moves us forward. Our three pillars: conservation, education, and community. So every single thing we do here with you all, community, right? You're welcoming me into your community. I'm telling you a little bit about ours and educating you on the aquarium. And then, of course, conservation. We are on nearly 6 acres in downtown Gulfport. We have 65 plus employees. Those are full-time and part-time. We have 32 plus exhibits and growing. We have nearly 250 species. Don't ask me to name them all. I've tried. I get to 10 maybe. 5,600 plus animals. And we are a nonprofit facility. A lot of people don't know that. They, of course, when they think of a large facility like ours, an attraction, they think of Disney World or Universal, and then it is a public or it's not a public entity, like it's private sector, but we are a nonprofit and very important. Where we started, right? Can't come to the Hancock County Historical Society and not talk about the history of the aquarium. So I always like to start there. In the beginning, they were looking to find where they wanted to place the aquarium. They knew after Hurricane Katrina that there needed to be some more family-friendly attractions around the Gulf Coast. And they ended up deciding to put it in downtown Gulfport, really close to an area that has some nostalgia. If you are from around the area, you're familiar with the Marine Life facility right across the way from us. So it has a lot of that happening. We are not affiliated with that facility. We're a new facility. But with that, when you're building a new facility, a lot of people have that nostalgia that they're like, oh, it's not the same, or it's not this area. We are a new facility and, have to work through some of those. When we built in Gulfport, they were, why are you building there? It's right next to, the highway. It's across from the beach, hurricanes, and the like. There's not much down there right now. We really built right in that area as a semblance of rebuilding after Hurricane Katrina. We opened on the 15th anniversary to kind of be an anchor for that area, an anchor for growth and economic development along our coastline. We did open in 2020. As we know, there was also the pandemic. So they did think we were a little bit of crazy people, but our facility being a combination of indoors and outdoors helped us significantly. And we were really committed to getting this facility opening and seeing it through to what it can help build for the area. And a lot of expectations. Some people came in from outside because a facility of this size hadn't been built before, and they expected us to have about 5,000 people come through our doors a day, and that's not realistic for the Gulf Coast area. So lots of managing of expectations, and with that, lots of managing of pricing. When we first opened, annual passes were very, very high, and pricing was very, very high, and with being a nonprofit, you have to kind of juggle that and manage those. And then the guest experience. When we first opened, there were only about 9 exhibits. Now we're up to 23 plus, 28 plus. So again, making sure we're providing the guests a great guest experience. Maybe in the beginning, not so much, but we learned from it. There's also lots of promotional campaigns talking about all the animals coming. I'm sure you saw some of them. We also sold tickets and memberships. I was one of the first people to buy one. I was very excited. And again, we only had about 9 exhibits. We had our large oceans exhibit. We had a river. We had alligators. We had crocodiles. We had otters. We had a bird exhibit with our aviary, but not much else. We had one exhibit building, the large aquatic wonders building that you could swirl in. And then we had one empty building. Yeah. The quiet that you hear, that was the quiet in the building because it was empty. And the dolphins hadn't arrived yet. So again, one of those draw points, one of those selling points, one of those things that makes us really special, that we can talk about these wonderful marine mammals, weren't even there yet. And we were indoor and outdoor. One of the things about our area is it gets hot here, right, y'all? So being indoor and outdoor and opening in August, we had some people that were, getting their sweat on a little bit. With all of that, we've learned and grown. One of the things I always like to talk about when I give tours around campus is the facility was really built with quality in mind. You expect 5,000 people, everything needs to be magical, and it very much so is. But it was also very much so built with the intention to grow with the community, and we've done that. If you could see from the numbers that I mentioned earlier, where we started with 9 exhibits and now we're at 28, 32 plus. Lots of new events, lots of new partnerships and things like that have happened. And I want to kind of go through those with y'all. So a little bit of where we are now. One of my favorite photos ever. Our focus has changed, of course, in 5 years. I always like to refer to us as a little baby aquarium, just being 5 years old. But our focus is the animals. That's our number one priority. Any and everything we do, they're what comes first. Their well-being, their being cared for, their conservation, and anything and everything, again, the animals. And then second is our crew. They're the lifeblood. They're the hospitality, just like y'all are for the Historical Society, making sure our guests are having a wonderful experience. If they're educating people on all these animals, if they're having a good time, they're sharing that with the guests that come to our aquarium. And then, as I mentioned earlier, our 3 pillars, the education, conservation, and community. Remember that. There might be a quiz later. And of course, some other things are back to basics. We don't need the frills and thrills to make sure our guests have a good time. It's a simple thank you letter for coming to speak today to the Historic Society. It's learning people's names when they come in the gate. Those are the things that are going to make the lasting impression. And those are the things that guests are going to remember and talk about when they're referring to our facility with others that they might be talking to in the future. And then collaboration. We don't get anywhere by ourselves. So working with other partner facilities, working with other organizations, working with other sponsors, and, helping to increase our impact. Letting people know that we are a nonprofit, that we are investing our funds, anything we do in our gate back to field trips. I'll go into that in a little bit. But some of the funds that we collect are attributed to our project sale, which is helping to fund field trips to students in Title I schools. And if you don't know, most of Mississippi are Title I schools. So those kids that might not be able to afford a field trip, we help with those costs, as well as, funding different conservation efforts, rehab turtles and the like. And talking about those accomplishments, because if we're not talking about them, no one else is going to talk about them, and people don't know about them and they can't support. And then, of course, priding ourselves on being the state's aquarium. We are referred to as Gulfport Aquarium or the Coast Aquarium, but we're truly Mississippi's aquarium. We pride ourselves on being the state's aquarium, representing the brown of the Mississippi River. We have a Mississippi River habitat that actually flows through the middle of our campus, or the heart of our campus. And it's a little bit clearer than the normal Mississippi River. You can see the animals in it, but we're able to talk about those species that are native. We're able to talk about the resources that the Mississippi River provides. We talk about the blue of the ocean, so the Gulf, the wonderful animals in it, the Atlantic bottlenose dolphins, and then, of course, and beyond. There's an axolotl on the screen behind me that is a critically endangered species that's only found in one lake in Mexico. It can regenerate almost every part of its body. You're like, Nicole, that doesn't make sense. It's true. I did not make that up, but making sure people are aware of these animals and areas that you might not know about is, how we connect with the outside world. And through those things, we're able to support tourism, partner with Mississippi businesses, educate Mississippi students, and help native species, and so much more. So a little bit of a background on our reach. We, again, serve as the state's aquarium, serving Mississippi and beyond. Since opening our doors in 2020, we've welcomed over 1.3 million visitors. Pretty substantial. Our 1 millionth visitor was an 11-year-old girl from Gulfport. Her mom is a first responder. We got to surprise her, and we're counting, all the people, 999,999, 1 million. And we were able to surprise her with a little gift basket and everything last couple years ago. It was really, really exciting. 78% of our visitors are from outside the 395 zip code. And 68% of our visitors are from 60 plus miles. So when they're driving to town, what are they going to do? They're going to come down to Bay St. Louis. They're going to stay in a hotel. They're going to do other things while they're here exploring the coast. And we're happy to be an anchor for that. So let's take a little closer look at our impact. Again, I talked about our pillars. Do you guys remember what those were? Perfect. A plus, A plus. Speaking of A plus, in education, we have educated over 87,000 students through our educational programs. That's summer camps. We do host a summer camp every single summer. It's called Camp Aqua, and kids 7 to 11 get hands-on experiences. Some of these activities I even learned things from, and it's really fascinating. We also do field trips. I mentioned those. Project Sail is the one where we help subsidize those field trips. And then we also offer different programs like sensory days. So once every couple of months, we open our campus to those that are differently able, those people that might get sensory overwhelm. So we don't turn on our lights, we don't turn on our sounds. We have special tactile experiences for these people that they can experience the aquarium their way and be in a safe, comfortable environment. We've educated over 50,000 guests through our experiences and encounters, whether it be a dolphin encounter or a penguin encounter, our sea trek diving experience, which you see up there, and so many more. And those people are the ones talking about those experiences with other people, but educating other people on all of the cool animals they saw, or maybe that message that might help a dolphin or two in the future. We've given over 24 lectures and presentations at institutions and conferences. We've had 25 plus veterinary schools participate in our programs, and we've had 47 veterinary students complete rotations with our vet staff. And then we've authored or co-authored, not myself, I'm not the author of the group, but our veterinarian and some of our animal care staff, over 33 papers and textbooks, which is pretty great. These are some of our collaborations. I'm not going to read all of them to you, but Mississippi State University, the College of Veterinary Medicine, and the Overall Institute, University of Southern Mississippi in 2 ways as well, and then, of course, Ole Miss. In community, we've given over 205,000 complimentary missions to military, first responders, and teachers. We do special days every single year just to give back. Over 7,000 guests have participated thus far. 1,000 plus donations, lots and lots of requests. People message us all the time. Hey, we're holding a silent auction for a fundraiser for Alzheimer's. Can you donate? We're always going to say yes if we can, right? Because that's helping the community and the community helps us. So we're all in this together. That's over 136,000 in community grants provided. We have over 76 volunteers, and they've donated 50,000 hours of their time. We just recently served 6 coastal counties where kids were able to get free admission through our Hancock Whitney Oceans of Opportunity program. So we sent free admission tickets to all the students in the 6 lower counties to come to the aquarium for free and come learn and explore. And then every year we offer free pre-K passes to kids 3 to 5 years old. Those kids get to have a free annual pass for themselves until the eve of their 6th birthday, because that's kind of those quintessential years where they start to get inspired, they start to think critically, they start to explore. So if we can help bud those little marine biologists in training or help inspire them in any way, we're going to do that. And then conservation, something that people don't know. You've all heard about the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. A lot of people know the oil washing up on the shores and the animals and things, but there's lots going on below the surface that people don't know about. The coral reef, that Deepwater coral reef, was also significantly affected. So our veterinary Vice President of Veterinary Services went out with NOAA and a few other organizations, and they've retrieved specimens of this coral that was affected. And it's so deep in the water, it only gets about 5% of sunlight on average, which is pretty fascinating. So they took pieces of this coral and hopes to propagate it, help it spawn, and then replant it back in there to grow some of those ecosystems affected. And as I'm sure you know, with coral, it's houses for fish, right? It's providing food for fish. It's quite the budding ecosystem. So if we can make an impact on that, then we can help grow back what was affected by the oil spill. Not only is the team doing some tremendous work, some of the pieces came in about this small and have now grown to about this big. We have lots on exhibit at the aquarium that you can come see, but we also have lots at our offsite aquatic research center. We recycled, this is a larger number now that Mardi Gras is over 50,000 pounds of Mardi Gras beads. We do a drive every single year, and people come and bring beads to us just out the goodness of their heart. Beads are shiny, right? And they kind of look like fish in some regard, or they're attached to strings. And sometimes they can be in the harm's way of animals, and they can mistake it for fish, or they can get entangled up in it. So if we can keep it out of the waterways or out of the ecosystem at all, or out of our drains, that's going to help our area. We've hosted 8+ beach cleanups. We've released nearly 200 critically endangered Kemp's Ridley sea turtles in the Gulf. These are native to the native to the Gulf. They nest on the beaches of Texas and Mexico, and they migrate up the East Coast. And a lot of the little baby turtles, the 1 or 2 years old, they get a little lost up in the New England area. And when the water temperature drops, they can't regulate their body temperature because they're reptiles, and they get what's called cold stun. So they'll get lethargic, they'll get bone infections, pneumonia, GI tract infections, all kinds of things, and they're more susceptible to predators. So volunteers actually scoop them up, the ones that wash ashore, they triage them, and then they get sent down to partner facilities, and we're one of them. We rehab the most here in the area, which is really exciting. They are critically endangered, and they're the smallest species of sea turtle in the world. We've done 27+ public turtle releases. We have one coming up soon if you want to join us. We are a certified monarch way station for monarch butterflies. We have over 5 critically endangered species at the facility that we take care of. And just recently, we hatched another batch of critically endangered penguin chicks. I know, they're so precious. That is the right response when we talked about baby penguins. Pretty exciting stuff. Here are some of the awards we've received since opening and some of our accreditations: International Marine Animal Trainers Association and the Alliance for Marine Mammal Parks and Aquariums. Everything we do meets or exceeds any standards set, because again, we want to kind of set the bar for animal care. In 2024, is that my timer? In 2024, we did over $106 million in economic impact. That's through visitor spending, through food and beverage, through transportation, through accommodations, and so much more. So pretty big impact. And we have a bright future. So this is an exciting rendering of a penguin exhibit that we're hoping to build very, very soon. Out of the $9 million required to build this penguin house, we have about 7.9, so we only have about $1 million to go, which might seem like a large number, but if you started at $9 million, we're in the home stretch, right? As I mentioned, when we first opened, they really much had the intention to grow with the community, and we've done so. Since opening, they have changed our crocodile exhibit to beavers. We're one of only a few facilities that have beavers on exhibit, 3 males. Their names are Elvis, BB, and King. You might have seen their billboards. They're famous, and they don't let us forget it. Every year, we try to have a music festival that showcases beavers and helps educate people on them and their namesakes, Mississippi musicians, called the Damn Good Festival. So you might have to come to it. But a great message. Rather than a crocodile, just to show the difference between alligators and crocodiles, these guys are, often referred to as nuisance animals, but they're actually indicator species. If they're in and around an area, that means that ecosystem's healthy. They're building those lodges, they're housing other animals in those areas, and it's a really important species. And they were almost all the way extinct at one point in time because of the fur trade too. So full circle kind of moment about their conservation. In addition to the beavers, we added the Deepwater Coral exhibit. We also transformed that empty building into 23 more exhibits. So you can explore the rainforest, you can explore the coral reef, you can visit with a giant Pacific octopus or even a sloth in that building. And you're like, Nicole, it's an aquarium, you shouldn't have a sloth. But these are those connections that people make, those memorable animals that we can talk about. Roommates with the sloth is a 3-banded armadillo. It's from Brazil, but we're able to talk about the species of armadillo that we have here and how they look different, and they're from different areas, but they have commonalities, right? And that's an important message for kids. And then the penguin exhibit is hopefully very, very soon. So this is what it's going to look like. And thankfully, don't tell my boss that it is an indoor building, so it will have air conditioning. Mississippi. So the outdoor sponsor will showcase and add a shaded gathering space for us. It will be an indoor habitat providing immersive and elevated guest experience, additional event venue for us. So picnic with the penguins or pajamas and penguins. Kids can sleep over, with the aquarium. And we can just expand our offerings, different presentations, different encounters to meet these animals, and people can see them, all the time instead of through special visits. And then what's really important to us is getting the penguins in an on-site facility. Right now, they're already comfortable because, of course, they're mating and procreating and that kind of thing. But if people can see that, they can help with their conservation message. These guys are critically endangered. There's only about 7,500 breeding pairs left in the world. They're set to be extinct by 2035. So more people know about them, the more people can help advocate for them. And then, of course, these are pictures of the babies because I can't have a presentation and talk about penguins without showing some of the babies from this year. So we had 4 hatched this year, in addition to the 3 that were hatched last year. And again, very, very important and very special to us. And they grow up very fast. The parents, unlike humans, the parents kick these birds out of the nest about 2 months old. So they have to be big enough to kind of fend for themselves, right? Humans got it easy. I mean, whew. So you can kind of see when fairly first hatched, they still kind of have their eyes closed. They've got little teeny tiny like gummy bear looking feet, and then they grow up pretty quickly. And they're visiting us right now through Easter. Speaking of the penguins and the babies on campus, some upcoming events for you. Babies are on campus weekends until April. We bring them over on field trips so people can learn about them, but also so they can kind of get in the swing of things and learn about their animal care team. We're doing a penguin Easter egg hunt on April 4th. This is a Saturday before Easter. We're doing a recycled art exhibit partnership with the University of Southern Mississippi. If anybody are Star Wars fans, we'll have some of the Star Wars crew in with us on May the 3rd to celebrate May the 4th in advance. We'll be doing a Mother's Day buy one get one free offer. Memorial Day weekend, of course, military is free. And then we'll have some special guests, more than likely some princesses joining us in May, and so much more. We do birthdays, we do weddings, we do graduations, we do anything and everything you can think of to be part of the community and celebrate. One of the exciting things Mr. Chris wanted me to mention, and I was already excited to tell you all about, is I'm sure you heard about the American Cruise Line trip. They're sailing from the Pensacola area to New Orleans. Gulfport is one of those stops. They stop in the port of Gulfport, and we get 2 buses full of people from this boat every single day that they stop in the port of Gulfport. The morning group gets to meet dolphins if they elect, about 8 of them. And then the other 40 on that bus are doing tours with us. So we do guided tours with them to showcase. And they are all elated about this area. They're so impressed. They, a lot of them say, I had no idea. And that's kind of what we want to hear, right? We're called the Secret Codes for a reason. But the more people that know about it from all across the country and all across the world, it just means so much more. And those people get back on the bus, and apparently Gulfport Day is Muffaletta Day, I heard. I tried to ask them to bring me a sandwich on the way back, but they didn't. And then we get another bus in the afternoon of 50 more people. And some of those people elect to meet a penguin, and the rest are stuck with me as a guided tour around campus. But it's quite a great addition. Tuesday is the last one for this sailing, and then they're supposed to be joining us again in December. So we're really excited about that. Before I dive into questions, I also wanted to bring up hurricanes too, because it's always something people are interested in. That Gulfport area got about 25 feet of storm surge. And a lot of people are always asking us what we do or what we're going to do about storms. And as I mentioned earlier, our animals are kind of our top priority, right? So we think about that and take our responsibility very seriously. So we have different protocols in place for different storms. For one, when they built the facility, they built us up 24 feet elevation, and then we have a flood wall all the way around. So hopefully, if that does happen again, we're prepared. But if there is a storm of any regard, we keep an eye on things. We've got our raincoats ready and got protocols in place. Most of the time, our birds and the aviary will move off-site to our aquatic research center, and different animals have different protocols. The beavers, they do a little beaver parade in the morning, not just for cuteness and for our entertainment, but it's to help, train them to get familiar with that path should that ever happen and we need to evacuate them. And then our dolphins, again, very important to us. anytime there is the hurricane season starts, we're ready to go. We've got transportation lined up should we need to move on a moment's notice, because again, the animals are our top priority. So little bonus features for y'all. I move into questions if I'm not kicked out yet from overtime. Yes, sir.
Yeah, while you're building the penguin complex, where do you keep the baby penguins?
Yeah, great question. So all of the penguins live currently at our offsite aquatic research center. It's a great space. It's everything they need and more. But that's where some of our animals go that might be in quarantine, that we might be getting from new facilities or might be transferring out to different facilities. That's where our rehab turtles are. We take care of them there before we release them back into the Gulf. So they have quite the lush life over there, but I can't see them every day, and I'm kind of upset about it because I don't go over there, right? So we're excited to be able to bring them on campus to make them more accessible to all of our guests. Yes, sir.
What are your hours and what? How much time should one budget?
Great question. We are open almost 365 days a year. We're closed Christmas and Thanksgiving, rightfully so, right? And we're open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We do field trips and all that all throughout the day. So there's not a bad time to visit us. But our last entry is at 4 o'clock because we don't want somebody to show up right at 5 o'clock and us, be closing the doors. We wouldn't do that on them, but we want to let them give enough time. We always average at least 2 hours. The people that are coming over on the cruise line have budgeted about 2.5 hours to come explore the aquarium because we do educational presentations all throughout the day. So depending on what you want to see, you can kind of choose your own adventure. Pleasure. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, Jim. Do you have room for more beavers?
I wish, right? They are so cute. Right now we have the 3 adult males. We're okay with those guys right now. We're one of only a few facilities that have them. So as we're learning new things, the other facilities are too, because we go to those conferences and talk. A lot of our animals, people don't know, are actually target trained. One of the questions we get all the time are, there's sharks in here in this large exhibit. They don't eat the other fish. And not to say it doesn't happen, because we like to say anything with a mouth can bite, children included. But these animals are all target trained. One, so they know when the next meals come in, so they don't need that, kind of fight or flight to come through. But so we can kind of keep an eye on them. So we can do a visual inspection to see if they have any scratches or anything that they need checked. But also so we can do their healthcare and they can voluntarily participate in their healthcare. And most of those animals do. So just like the beavers. Yes, ma'am.
Y'all take volunteers?
Yeah, great question. We do have a volunteer program. You can apply online at our website, msaquarium.org, and you can kind of make your own schedule and pick your own shifts. It's a little portal where you can see what different shifts are available. Right now, we're all about stuffing those Easter eggs because we have 16,000 Easter eggs we're going to give out the day before Easter. So we need help putting the candy in the eggs. All the kids get an opportunity to recycle them, and we got quite a bit back from last year. So instead of just buying new eggs, we're just buying the candy and refilling that and reduce, reuse, recycle. So with the volunteers, it's an application fee just to cover the background check. But again, you can pick your own schedule and pick your own hours. And some people only want to help out with their birthday parties, and that's fine. Some people only want to dress up like our mascot, and that's fine as well. We're happy to have any help we can have.
What's your mascot?
His name is Bayou the Otter. He is quite massive and very fluffy, and you'll have to come visit him one day. Yes, sir.
My wife always says after they see on TV the turtle release, why didn't I know about that earlier? How do people find out about these turtle releases?
Yeah, that's a great question. So these animals, again, are critically endangered. We're kind of stewards for them, and we're just helping them on their next step of their journey. We don't know until very, very close because it's based on a lot of different factors. One, their clear bill of health is number one, but also water temperature and storms and things like that. We usually only know about 2 days in advance. The people that are always going to find out about it first are going to be those people that sponsor them. So we offer people to sponsor, symbolically adopt our turtles that we have in our care for $30 because it takes about $500 to rehab a fairly healthy turtle. And so those people, of course, just as a sign of appreciation, we let them know first, and then we post on our social media pages as well. That answered your question. Yes, ma'am.
Do you collect the Mardi Gras beads all year long, or do you have a drive?
That's a great question as well. So we usually just do around the Mardi Gras time period, but we're not afraid to hold them onto them until, the time period. We just collected from February 1st through March 1st this year. And we partner with other facilities around the coast. 3 beneficiaries are the Bethel Free Health Clinic. So they take those beads, they wash them, they sort them, and they resell them. And the funds from that go to help fund medicine that people can't afford. And then the other 2 go to schools, local schools. Long Beach is one of them. They give them to some of their special needs students, and they learn some life skills. And so they'll clean and sort and recycle and that. So if we can help with those programs, that's part of our community initiatives, and it just makes you feel good, right?